What are our abdominal muscles for? Well, abdominal muscles provide a number of functions for us. One is movement of the torso or vertebral column. So when you're standing up and you bend over, that's flexing. When you then move upright, that extending is extension of the torso. And then you can laterally flex. So that's bending to the sides. And then you can also rotate. When you twist your torso, that's called rotation. So abdominal muscles provide movement of the torso or vertebral column. They also protect. They offer a lot of protection to your abdominal muscles. And we're going to see the way they protect is they provide different orientations in order to provide the most protection. They're also used when you breathe forcefully. If you're exercising or forcefully breathing, your abdominal muscles actually push up on the diaphragm and help to make that thoracic cavity even smaller so you can breathe more air out. And then expand that chest large to get more air in. So when you're breathing very forcefully, your abdominal muscles are helping. Then they're also involved in coughing. They're involved in defecating. They're involved in vomiting. They're involved in childbirth. So your abdominal muscles are going to contract in order to often increase pressure to help force things out, whether it's vomiting, defecating, urinating, in childbirth. But let's look at them. We've got the rectus abdominis. So here's that rectus muscle running parallel to the midline. If this is the midline of the body, notice what direction the muscle fibers are running. They're running parallel to that midline. So that's the rectus abdominis. It has what's called tendinous intersections. So it kind of separates and divides that muscle into compartments. That helps with the flexion of the abdomen. So this muscle primarily does flexion of the abdomen. You've got two layers underneath the rectus abdominis. You have the external oblique, and then underneath it is the internal oblique. Now notice on this side they haven't removed any muscles. So this is more of the superficial view. And notice the direction the muscle fibers are running. They're running on an angle. They're running oblique. The external oblique is going to help rotation of the abdomen and trunk. The internal oblique is underneath. So notice what they did. They took a big chunk out of the external oblique in order to view this internal oblique. And the internal obliques run on the opposite direction that the external oblique does. So in this drawing, you can see some of this external oblique running this way, whereas the internal is running this way. Internal obliques, as well as external obliques, primarily do rotation of the trunk or abdomen. So when you twist your body right to left, you're using your obliques. Then you'll notice that they actually cut away a piece of the internal oblique in order to show the transversus abdominis. And notice the fibers are running transversely, which is perpendicular to the midline. The transversus abdominis compresses the abdomen. It really squeezes the abdomen inward. So those are the four layers of your abdominal wall. We typically learn them superficial to deep. Rectus abdominis, external oblique are most superficial, then internal oblique and transversus abdominis. Again, function, movement of the trunk, mostly flexion and rotation. but they also protect your abdominal organs and are involved in forced exhalation, so forcing air out, but they can also help you force other things out, such as vomit, such as urine, such as feces, such as a baby. This is just another view kind of helping you see the layering that occurs. So this is a transverse section through the abdominal wall. This would be the midline of the abdomen. We see that if we were moving deep to superficial now, we would go transverse or transversus abdominis, internal, then external oblique, and then rectus abdominis, running parallel to the midline. The antagonistic muscle group to your abdominals is called the erector spinae group. This is a group of muscles. We're not going to learn all the different muscles of the erector spinae group, but they all run, they're all deep muscles in the back, so this is a posterior view. They're kind of pulling them away. There are very long muscles that run longitudinally here. And these muscles are called the erector spinae group because they maintain an erect spine. So they extend the spine. So if they extend the spine or the trunk, they must be antagonistic to your abdominal muscles. Your abdominal muscles help you flex, whereas these help you extend. They're also going to help laterally flex. So for example, if only the right side erector spinae muscles contract, you will laterally flex to the right. If only the left side of the erector spinae group muscles contract, you will laterally flex to the left. If they all contract, both right and left, we call that bilateral action. The spine will stay erect. So that's the erector spinae group. Next video, we're going to start to get closer to moving the arm. So we're going to learn about muscles that move the humerus or arm, and therefore they act at the shoulder joint.